This week's Parsha is Vayekhel. The first thing we notice is it's not Vayekhel Pekudei. Vayekhel is almost always connected with Pekudei. So when you hear Vayekhel without Pekudei, you know you're in a leap year. Remember last year everything came early. In fact, it was record-setting. We were doing Thanksgiving. We had Thanksgiving and Hanukkah together, something that won't happen for a very, very long time in the future. So we've added one whole month to our calendar, the month of Adar, the second month of Adar, and therefore the Torah readings have to be spread out over more Shabbatot, because this is a leap year with 4 extra Sabbaths. And so Vayekhel has been separated from Pekudei. It's a unique moment in the Jewish calendar. The story that we're reading about in Vayekhel Pekudei, when they're put together but now separated for this particular year, is the story of the construction of the tabernacle, the wandering tabernacle in the desert. In the construction, which is very, very detailed, one of the first things we notice is that the people of Israel are told to bring 2 things. One is, bring your voluntary contributions, and the second is, gather your best artisans, your best builders, the people talented with their hands who can actually build it. So we have a dramatic change here. Up to now, God has done everything for the Jewish people, right? Think of Sukkot. In the desert, what does God provide? He provides shelter, He provides food, He provides water. Even the clothing, we're told, didn't deteriorate because God made sure that it didn't fall apart during the 40 years. Now all of a sudden God says, it's time to build a community. That's what the whole lesson of the desert is. We need to build a community. And the central institution of your community is going to be this tabernacle. So the people looking and thinking, okay, up to now, God, you did everything. So God says, no. Here's how it's going to work. First of all, it's voluntary. I can't make you do anything anymore as a nation. You have accepted the 10 Commandments, you've entered into the covenant, but it's up to you now, with your heart, to build your community. So we need voluntary contributions. If you force people to do it, the institution will not bring people. The institution will not touch people's hearts. They have to want to be part of it. They have to come forward and volunteer their spirit, volunteer their labor, volunteer their assets, whatever they can bring to the temple. Let them bring it with a full heart. And the artisans, the skilled people, you have to do it. God isn't creating this. We have to create it. And that's why it's fascinating that if you do a very close analysis of the story of the building of the sanctuary and the story of God's creation of the world, you'll see that the structure and the language is very parallel. What's happening is that the building of the sanctuary, the wandering desert, of the wandering temple in the desert, is seen as an act that parallels God's creation. So God creates the world, and now within that world, we build. We build our families, we build our community, we build our nations, we build relationships. And just as when God finished with His creation, He said, Tov Ma'od, this is very, very good. We have to look at what we've created and be able to say, Tov Ma'od, this is very, very good. And just as God's creation of the world is Kodesh, it's holy, so too, what we create, what we build, needs to be holy. We have to instill it with holiness. And just as when God finished His creation, He rested on the 7th day, so too, we have to rest on that 7th day and reflect back upon our creativity each and every week. It elevates our work, whether it be the artisan who simply lays bricks to build the temple, or whether it be God creating the world. They're of equal holiness and importance because we are partners with God in creation. That's the lesson of the building of the tabernacle as a parallel to creation. That's the lesson of bringing forth our gifts voluntarily and bringing our skills voluntarily. God created the world as an act of love. Nobody told Him to create the world. He decides to create it because He loves the world that He created. What we create, what we mold, what we fashion, we have to love it as well. And you can't be commanded to love. So it's a voluntary effort to build our community, and whatever we bring to it has to be understood as coming from the heart and therefore something holy. What we build in this world has to be infused with holiness, just as God infused the world with holiness. It's a beautiful parsha that talks about our partnership with God and the importance of every kind of labor, every kind of work, if it contributes to the building of community, if it contributes to keeping God's world going, keeping our community going, as long as it's dignified, constructive, and contributes to our fellow human beings, that work is holy. It's avodat kodesh. It's holy work. It's a blessing that the Torah gave us to tell us that that which we do in life has a potential to be holy, no matter what it is, if it helps build a better world. Shabbat Shalom.